All right, welcome everyone to the Tower Zoom. You know, this is a time when you can learn more about growing your own vegetables, indoors or outdoors using the Tower Garden. And I am Michelle Fletcher. I have been a proud owner of the Tower Garden now for 8 years. And I joined forces with this company right around the time that they included the Tower Garden into their product line. So it's the Juice Plus company, and the Tower Garden is sold through the Juice Plus company. And Juice Plus and the Tower Garden is all about providing solutions for how you can get more produce and more concentrated nutrition into your diet. Hold on, mute a few people new on the line. If you're new on the line, please mute yourself. But this is a super simple way that someone like me with black thumbs can actually grow and look like I'm a master gardener. So I'm super excited that you have decided to join us today. So I will be honored, I am so honored to have Arlene Joseph. She will be joining us later on in this talk. She is a master gardener, but she's gonna share her experience with the Tower Garden also. And I love this picture below, guys. This gives you an idea of what you can get from the Tower Garden. And I just experienced this recently. I just planted some new seeds probably now a month ago. And within 3.5 weeks, I had full heads of lettuce and I had kale, and it was amazing. I was just like, wow, I felt like it was the fastest time ever. Maybe because I just decided to grow some different crops, but it was just so awesome to see me get that amount of produce in such a quick time and just watching it grow right in front of my face. So one of the reasons that the Tower Garden is such a great asset to anyone is we have a lot of food problems today. There's a lot of issues with our food supply. And one of them is that the food quality today is decreasing significantly. You know, we have now genetically modified foods, which we don't know how that is going to affect us years down the line. So we want to kind of stick to foods in their natural form and that haven't been manipulated by man. We have pesticides that are being added to our foods. We know that the transportation of food allows our food to lose a lot of nutrition. So you see here, it says broccoli could lose 50 to 80% of the key nutrients before you purchase it, because some of it is coming from another country or the other side of the country. By the time it gets to the stores, sometimes it has to be radiated, which gives it better color to be sitting on the shelves. And then by the time it's sitting on the shelves and gets to our plate, it loses so much nutrition. So those are just some of the issues that we're running up against and why it's so good to be able to have a way to grow your own. So what is this Tower Garden? I know this is probably the most frequently asked question right now with people just trying to figure out how they can grow their own food really quickly. The Tower Garden is a vertical aeroponic growing system. It can be 5 foot tall or it can be 6 foot tall depending on how many fruits and veggies you want to grow. It uses air and water to produce the fruits and vegetables. That's where the aeroponic side comes in. It uses some air and then it uses some water, back to air and water. And then it also uses an all-natural earth mineral growing solution called Tower Tonic, designed for both plant and human nutrition. So what they did with this Tower Tonic is they extracted a lot of the nutrients that are in soil and they put it in a liquid solution. And so the Tower Garden is actually the future of growing, and people a lot smarter than me created this system, way smarter, like light years. I don't know how many of you have been to Epcot, the land, but that is like the future of growing. And so it was a chief horticulturalist from there that created this system, and it's a way for us to be able to grow our own produce right on our patio or even inside of our house. And now we only used to have one type of Tower Garden, but around 6 months ago, they introduced a new Tower Garden, which we call the Tower Garden Home, which has been added. It's a more compact Tower Garden, which allows you to grow microgreens at the top and also produce towards the bottom. And it comes with grow lights. And then we have the Tower Garden Flex, which also can grow indoors or outdoors. Hold on, mute somebody. It can be grown indoors or outdoors. And you can also add lights to it if you want to. But that is the one that I have owned for 8 years now. And you see here the benefits of owning a tower garden. 98% less water because it recycles the water inside of the tower. You're using less than 98% water. Now, we're always talking about sustainability. How much more sustainable is that? The fact that you're using way less water. It takes up 90% space. So I know people that plant in the ground, they have those plots, they're planting at least 15 vegetables, and it takes up a lot more space. But with the tower, you can grow more vegetables in a smaller space. Then you get 30% more yield, which is amazing from growing on the tower. It grows 3 times as fast as it would in soil, and is safe and nutritious. And it's actually research that has been done on the tower garden where it compares it to growing in the soil. So that is how they came up with all of this. The research was done at the University of Mississippi. So our company is always all about research and proving why it's better. So this is the creator of the Tower Garden. If you're interested, you can watch his story. He has a really amazing story. But he went to visit Epcot as a kid and fell in love and decided he wanted to work there, and then he did. And so now he is the creator of this system, the Tower Garden. And it's pretty awesome that he was able to live out that dream of his. And what he has now created is something that is not only being used residentially, but it's also being used commercially. So we have here, this is an author, Dick Dispomier, and professor, who's an author of the book, The Vertical Farm. And he says, at the present, throughout the world, over 80% of the land that is suitable for raising crops is in use. So we know we are running out of land. We're running out of good land. Even those of us with a backyard, sometimes you notice that the soil isn't even good enough to grow crops in them because the soil has some sand in it. The crops don't grow very well. Well, because of this, that's why it's better to be growing vertically. And so why the Tower Garden? It is really fun. So someone like me who hates the garden, who used to kill every plant my mom used to give me, I can do this. And it's easy and it's healthy and it's easy to have organic produce right on your dinner table every night. And it pretty much is a farmer's market at your back door, or it could be in your kitchen. People have their towers wherever. It could be indoors, outdoors. So it's just easy fun. I know my phone is full of pictures of my tower because it's like my other baby. So it is a fun way to like have conversation, and even my kids have grown up seeing the tower. So I got it when my son was 2 years old, and it's just it's normal for them to see it. And so why aeroponics too? That's another question. It grows stronger and healthier plants because there's increased oxygen to the roots, and that helps to prevent disease and pests in those plants. And everything grows faster because the roots are exposed to more oxygen. And that is why we also receive more yield in less space because of the aeroponic systems. And so we have been featured a lot in media. We have been featured on ABC News, on CNN, on NBC, on New York Times, in the Urban Garden magazine, and also on Lifetime Balancing Act. And I know there's a lot more places where we have been featured over the years, but we're also in Chicago O'Hare Airport. I don't know how many of you have traveled through Chicago O'Hare and seen in one of the terminals that they have around 40 to 50 of these towers, and they are using all the produce that is grown on those towers in the restaurants in the airport. So if you have eaten in Chicago O'Hare Airport in like the past 7 years, 6-7 years, you've been getting fresh vine ripened produce from the Tower Garden, and I'm sure everything tastes so much better. So here is a homeless shelter in LA, and this actually was brought also with the contribution of Kobe Bryant, helped to bring this about. And this is President Clinton, who was visiting the towers in this homeless shelter. And this food does, because this opened around 4 or 5 years ago, feed those homeless. So they're getting to eat really nutritious food. And that's just an amazing way to give back. And even Jessica Alba If you're over 20, I'm assuming you know who Jessica Alba is, an actress, beautiful, but she loves the Tower Garden. She actually owns them, and she gifted them to some of her friends for Christmas years ago. So she's a huge advocate for the Tower Garden. You'll see pictures of her doing yoga in front of them. It's pretty cool that she advocates for healthy living. You know, she has her own health line of baby products. So she's all about being very conscious of our environment and how to give back. And so just to let you know, we were also featured in Better Homes and Gardens magazine. And this was just awesome for us to be hosted here, because the towers, not only do they give us really good food, but they are beautiful to look at. And you know, everything in Better Homes and Gardens is so beautiful. So when we saw it, and they were just like, yes, it deserves this place, because it is like so beautiful to look at the Tower Garden. And once you own one and hear the water dripping, because it sounds like a waterfall, the motor inside dripping the water, it's very soothing. So it was just awesome to see that featured there. There goes the towers in the Chicago O'Hare Airport that I was telling you about. And then we also have the towers in plenty of schools here in my county. Over, oh my goodness, we have so many schools, from elementary to high school to preschools, that all have the Tower Gardens and have incorporated it into their curriculum. Our company also provides curriculum to schools. So if you have an interest in that area and getting it maybe in your kid's school, or if you're a teacher in a school, or just would love to see more schools have this futuristic way of growing, please talk to the person that invited you onto this Zoom. So here's some of the things that you can grow in the Tower Garden. I'm gonna give you a chance to just take a look. All kinds of things. Amaranth, arugula, some of them I don't even know what they are. Bayum, not sure what that is, but just you think of it, you can grow it in there, as long as it's not from a tree or from a bush or is a root vegetable, it grows in the tower. So you can grow strawberries, you can grow spinach, you can grow squash, you can grow watermelon, you can grow all the herbs. Herbs do amazing in the tower, lettuces, all those things grow really well. Beans, you name it. And so here, I love this. We have this chef and owner of this restaurant in New York, and he's so smart. Like around 7 years ago, he decided he always wanted to have fresh produce at his restaurant, and he found out about the Tower Garden and incorporated towers onto the roof of his restaurant. And so on the roof, he has all these towers that are growing all this amazing produce that he uses in his restaurant. In the next picture, you're gonna see, look at this, all this goodness. I'm like, the next time I'm in New York, I have to visit his restaurant. It's called Bell and Hook, and eat some really good, nutritious food. And at least you know where your food is really coming from. And so next, I want to share the Tower Garden gangster, my buddy, Arlene. She's amazing. She has 6 towers. I believe right now she has 4 that are up. Arlene, if you want to unmute yourself, I'm going to stop sharing so we can give you the full screen. Let me see. There you go.
Okay.
So I'm going to put it in the speaker view, and I'll mute everyone else so that you'll be the one that's coming up. Who's Jackie?
Yeah.
All right, thank you guys for your patience. It's a lot of you on here. I'm muting out everyone so Arlene has the full screen, because you're gonna want to see what she has to share with us. Okay. If you're not already muted, mute yourselves. I'm going through, trying to mute. Okay, there we go. Arlene, are you there?
I am here. Can you hear me?
Yes, 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 yes.
Thank you, Michelle. Well, good evening, everyone. Michelle introduced me as the master gardener, and I don't really think I am deserving of it, because if you know how a tower garden works, you know, anyone can grow on a tower garden. If you can fill a 25-gallon reservoir with water once a week, check the pH in the tower once a week, and harvest from it daily, you're a master gardener. And so a lot of us in our community have several tower gardens that are just absolutely beautiful. I happen to own 6. I have 4 of them up right now. And I have to say it has been one of the best investments into my health and my kitchen. My Vitamix and my tower garden are 2 things you cannot take away from me. A little bit of background about me and how I got interested into the tower garden. I'm a wife and a mom of 2 college kids. And so I make a green smoothie every morning for a family of 4. I used to garden at home, traditional gardening, and just the demands of what I needed for my family, traditional gardening just wasn't able to keep up with what I needed to make my green smoothie. And so I started shopping at Whole Foods. And so that kind of got old really fast because I was spending at least $60 a week, a minimum of $60 a week just on greens for my smoothies, not to mention everything else in their produce department. So that got quite expensive for me. And so I started looking into the tower garden, and I found out at the time, and we still have that plan, but I found out at the time that what I was spending in 1 week, I could pay for that tower in 1 month. That was a monthly payment in our tower garden. So we have a 12-month interest-free payment plan, and at the time it was $66. And my tower gardens are over 6 years old. So, you know, I thought about it, a minimum of 60 a week times 4 weeks, that's $240 for the month. I've already paid for 4 towers at that point. So I decided to invest into a tower garden, and within weeks, and 6 weeks or more, I was actually redirecting my grocery bill to my tower garden, and I was eating from my tower garden at that point. So for me, it was a no-brainer. I am gonna step outside right now and show you all what I currently have growing on my tower. And I've grown it all on my tower. Let me see, let me switch views here. Let me head outside. And so here I have 3 of my towers. This is spinach, bok choy, dandelion greens. So the beauty about the tower is you get to grow things that you only hear about. And so I use all this. Every tower I have a marigold plant, and that's one way that I ward off bugs in my tower garden. Purslane, I have celery. Celery is so delicious from the tower garden. Let me see. I have here lettuce. Can you see that? I've got lettuce just growing in right now. Here's celery again. I have watercress. I have a new kale coming in because on this, I have 2 kales on this tower. And so this one I'm getting ready to pull. There's another marigold. And I am patiently waiting for my Brussels sprouts to come in. They're slowly coming in. I have rosemary with chard, tomatoes. Let me see if I could zoom in on tomatoes here. Can you see that? How beautiful is this? Tomatoes. Let me scoot around here. I have basil. Look at this. It's too bad it's a bit dark back here for you to see. I have thyme.
It looks great, Arlene.
Can you see? Okay.
Yeah, we can see really well. Thank you.
Really well. Sage. Unfortunately, I don't use a lot of sage. So if you live nearby and you'd like sage. Marigold again. Tomatoes. This cherry tomatoes. This is the kale I was telling you about, getting ready to pull. I don't have to. I usually keep kale on here for about 6 months. Swiss chard. I have another Swiss chard coming in, so I'm getting ready to pull this one. And so it'll be replaced with this one here. And here is, let me see if I can scoot in and show you Brussels sprouts coming in. Can you see that, or is that too dark? see that.
We can
Okay.
see it. We can see it.
And then, can you see it? Okay.
Yes.
Parsley I have here, and Nestorium, so beautiful. But cool. I absolutely love my tower gardens. Watercress, I'm not sure if I showed you guys that. So that's currently what I have growing on my tower. And let me see if I can switch this view back and come back. So usually what I do is I will start another set of seedlings. And so I have here on my kitchen counter, I'm getting ready to plant these seedlings into what we call the rock wool. And so, and actually wheatgrass, you can grow wheatgrass. This was given to me by you, Michelle. So the way this works is we take these seeds and we'll drop a few, place a few into this rock wool. You can see that there. I'll leave it into this plate with water. I'll drop some I could never say this word, vermiculite. I'll just place it on top. And in fact, I often don't use it, but I had it out, so I figured I'll show it to you guys. And so within a week, these seeds would have sprouted, and then I would then place them on my tower. And so I'll start eating from the tower in a few weeks. So I absolutely love my tower garden. Times like this, I really appreciate it because, you know, grocery stores are getting ready to close in my area. And so I have peace of mind. I eat from my tower garden every single day. And so it's been one of the best investments for my home, my kitchen, our health, everything. And the flavor from the harvest on it is amazing. You know, I've had my parents tell me that this is what real tomatoes tasted like when they were growing up, not the tomatoes we're getting in the store now. Celery, I've taken it to parties before, and I walked through the door. I think it was your house, Michelle. We walked in for a tower garden salad in a jar party, and we actually did a comparison between organic store-bought celery versus what I walked into the door with, and just the color and the flavor and the taste alone just blew everybody's mind. So definitely worthwhile, worth the investment. And yeah, any questions? I'm here to answer.
That was fantastic. Like really, Arlene, thank you for walking us through. Oh my goodness, I see that someone said they just had wheatgrass shots from their tower garden. Someone else I gave wheatgrass seeds to, Alicia. Yes, people are agreeing. That was a really amazing like walkthrough. Thank you for showing us all of that. I told you guys you didn't want to miss Arlene. She's amazing. I'm going to share my screen one more time and show you guys how to grow on the tower. So the next is just a quick video, and tell me if you can hear the sound. Can you guys hear? No? You can't hear the sound?
No.
And I can hear the sound. That is strange. I might just skip this slide, and the person who invited you can send it to you. This quick video, it's only a minute long, guys, but it just really shows you the basics of how this tower works and how simple it is. But I love that Arlene showed us how she starts her tower with the rock wool and just planting the seeds in there and putting the vermiculite over it. And as you can see, my friend and her cute little girls were there watching the tower garden seeds sprout. There you go. That's probably like a week old, those plants, getting ready to transport into the tower. Oh, and so the tower comes with, once you order, it comes with everything you need to get started. It comes with the tonic. It comes with the pH solution that you need to use in case your water levels are too acidic or too low balanced. It comes with the rock wool, the seeds, with a timer, with a motor. It comes with everything you pretty much need to start your tower getting up and running right away. And once you place your order, you get it in less than a week. It comes really quickly. And I think now more than ever is a good time to take control of your food supply and your food sources. Growing is just like the smartest thing to do. And Tower Garden definitely makes it more affordable to grow, and it makes it easier so that you don't have a plot of land that you dug up and then you kind of let it go astray after a few months. This is something that you can just keep going and go out and see it producing. And all the main thing you're doing is probably adding water, checking the water levels and the pH, and then cleaning it like every 2 to 3 months. So it pays for itself for sure. I noticed that was one thing when I first got my tower, is that my grocery bill actually went down within the first month because I was already reaping off of my tower, which I thought was incredible. And it's designed to work and built to last. So this is something that you will have for a lifetime. And so here is the cost of the Tower Garden. We have two. The Tower Garden Home is meant more for indoors. So a lot of people have it in their kitchen or in their dining room. And that is $80.84 for 12 months. And it's all yours for life. And it has wheels at the bottom. It comes with the lights. It comes with everything you see here except for the plants. And then we have our Tower Garden Flex, which can be grown indoors or outdoors, up to you, because you can also purchase lights for that also. But it comes without the lights and comes at 5 foot for $51.67 for 12 months. And that grows 20 different types of produce. So it's up to you, whichever one you feel more comfortable with. If you have any questions, feel free to ask them in here. I am going, like, unmute if you have a question, because this is the end of the presentation. I mean, the Tower Gardens are really simple and simple concept to understand. Is vertical growing. That's the future of growing today. And it's a great way to take control of your food source, especially in the times that we're currently in. So please unmute if you have any questions for me or Arlene.
Michelle,
Yes.
Sonia, just to let them know that the new Tower Garden holds 13 gallon of water compared to the older one have 20 gallon.
Yes.
20
So
gallon.
thank you, Sonia. The Tower Garden Home for indoors is more compact. So it's a smaller version. The regular Tower Garden, for the one that we currently have, it is around 3 feet round. But the more compact one for indoors is a lot smaller. I think it's around 2 feet around, because they want it to be able to fit in your house in a more compact space. So just be aware of that. If you're looking for something to be a lot smaller, you probably want to gravitate to the Tower Garden Home.
So I want to answer a quick question that I saw about the lights, or the sun, or the being by a window.
Mhm.
Most windows today are UV protected, so will not get the true sunlight, and that's why you would have to have the grow lights. It's LED lights that actually would mimic the sun indoors.
Yes, thank you,
And then
Becky.
And then I had there's another question in Hampton Roads, because I'm in Chesapeake, Virginia, and we have our towers outside right now on the deck. We had a little greenhouse over it for the winter, but they are flourishing massively right now. You're more than welcome to come over to Chesapeake to check them out.
And the other thing, if you get the Flex Tower Garden, you make sure if you want to get the monthly installments and lights included with it, you'll have to pay for the lights in full if you do it separately.